Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So, today, again, we're working on the 97 Ford Taurus GL. We put new battery cables on it yesterday. I fixed that connector that goes from the ignition to the starter solenoid. But, we're going to have to pull it out of this hole and pull the starter off. And I did some research to find out that these cars are notorious for starter problems because the oil filter is right directly above the starter. So when you try to change the oil, apparently it leaks oil down inside the starter, and it's also bad for oil pan problems. So we could have a leaky oil pan also, guys. I don't know. I know it has oil, and I know the oil looks good, so I don't really think we probably have an oil pan issue. But I do know that when you change the oil filter, it's freaking sideways, and you're going to spill some on that starter. And the brushes inside the starter are graphite, so as they wear, they create dust. Mix that with oil, and you got like concrete. You know, I'd say that's probably what's wrong with the starter. I'd say the commutator's locked up due to all the graphite like caked in there. So we're going to get back on this. This will be part 2 of this. We got to get it out of its grave and get up here on the concrete and try to get that starter out. I did find a tripod. I had to glue a GoPro mount onto it. So we'll see what happens. I've got a suction mount, worst comes to worst. And I still got my little bendy arm guy. But I've got a few different cameras that we're going to try today. I've got this GoPro. I've got a GoPro session that'll also be running, and I have my DSLR out here. But the problem with the DSLR is it's not a 1080p camera. It only shoots at 720 at 30 FPS. So I'm not sure I would ever use any of the footage from it compared to this one and that one, which is shooting in 1080 at 60 FPS. So let's see what we got. First things first, I gotta find a place to hook up to this car and drag it out of its grave so we can get the starter off. So let's get at that, see how today goes. All right. Get this thing jacked up. Good Lord, this car's heavy. Again, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? Almost. That didn't work. Yeah, I don't like that. I'd still like to have a conversation with the engineer, see if he thought putting a V6 or a V8 sideways in a front wheel drive car was a good idea, because it's not. It's a stupid idea. But here we are. So let's get that starter out, huh? I'm gonna go ahead up here while we're on top and get the wires loose. Try to get you guys situated in here. You can see what the hell I'm doing. So just so y'all know, I am my own camera guy. I don't have the luxury of having people come help me. Because the people that would come help me really don't want helping me anyways. Just being honest with you. Now I'm gonna have to edit that out that I even said it, because some of them people watch my videos. Sorry guys, I work better alone. It's just a fact. Turn the OT sensor cable out of the way. Now I can get all that out of the way. Tuck it on up here. Get this cable up here out of the way. Now, see if we can get that starter out. How about we try to find you guys a place you can sit under and see what I'm doing? But I can't promise you that I cannot promise you there's anywhere under there that you guys can will be able to see. I cannot promise it. Really wish I could have got this car up a little further, and I'm sure I could have, but my truck did not enjoy doing that. The four-wheel drive, something popped in it, so I'm gonna have to look at that too. It is what it is, I guess, right? I'm gonna get back with you here in a second once I get you guys set up in a place under here, and we'll get the starter out. So, what size do you guys reckon this is? I would assume it's a 1/2 inch, wouldn't you? But it's Ford, so it's probably been 13. Yeah. Oh wow. What it is really stuck. That's what it is. God Lord. Alright, I'm gonna have to go get some sockets. I still have no clue if you guys can see. I do apologize if you cannot. I, however, had to get some tools and some ass on this thing. Of course, it's a Ford. Why would they put it somewhere easy? This is the worst designed engine I've ever seen in my damn life. I'm not even lying. Oh. It made a noise. I did tell you guys it's a really dumb designed engine, right? Terrible design. Everything's in here the wrong way. There we are. It come loose finally. Good Lord. What the crap? Apparently Ford just wants me to live my life before to turn at the damn time. I can't believe I've stood up for Ford for as long as I have. Because the longer I work on these damn things, the more I question the sanity of their engineers. Or the company in general. Just really question you guys anymore. What is with this half-ass, shoddy engineering, stupid designs, and you don't really care about the mechanics out there that have to work on this shit? We see you. We see you, Ford. Oh, I gotta get a mouse succulator 5000 in here. And quit making specialty bolts. This is a specialty bolt. Just so everybody knows. You can't just replace it with any bolt. It's a special bolt. Ford life. I'm just gonna lay you guys in here. Screw it, right? And we have one oil soaked absolutely oil soaked starter. Look at that thing. Wanna know why the starter ain't working? Well, that's part of it. So yeah, starter's out. Now let's get her cleaned up a little bit here and get the Lord that's a lot of oil. See what we have. I'll be damned, she's an original Motorcraft. That's good. You guys realize that this whole situation could just be because voltage isn't making it across this little bridge terminal here to this. Give it 12 volts to go to the brushes. I don't think that's the problem, but it could be. Never know. So let's put some voltage on this thing and see if it'll work now that it's off. So it could be something completely different than the starter. I mean, we still got transmission, for God's sakes, it could be. So let's get some stuff hooked up and some jumper cables, and let's see if we can get this thing to spin off. Alright, so we're gonna clean this thing now. Hopefully, anyways. It's definitely nasty. She's gonna cuss if this thing, if I clean these connections and this thing decides to kick over. Not really. She'll be actually really happy that it works. What's the odds of that? Man, very slim. True. That worked just fine. Sound too healthy inside. Well, the starter works. Here you go. Very interesting. Very interesting. So now that I know the starter works, it's not very happy about working, but it works. You know, it could be the whole issue this whole time. A bad ground connection. All right. So we're gonna hook this back up and see what happens, because now I'm curious. Turned over, will it start it? Bad ground maybe? Starter worked, sounded pretty damn strong, so I don't know. All right, let's get under here, clean some connections. Safety third, like always. Please. So what do you guys think? What's the odds of this working? I actually have quite a bit of hope that this will actually turn it over this time. And if this doesn't turn it over, then I'm going to suspect we have some electrical issue, ground issue, something of that sort issue. There's the fuel filter. May put you guys on the DSLR for the starting test portion of this. Okay. So I'm gonna hook the battery cables and all that stuff, the electrical. I'm gonna hook the electrical back up. and then I'll come back with y'all. Like I said, I may move you over to the DSLR while these GoPros charge. No hair in my mouth's driving me crazy. I got oily hands. Starter's back on. I just gotta wire it, so I'm gonna wire it up real quick, and we'll see if this should crank. Did it? Is it working or intermittently?
No, that's me put the key in, see if it's on.
Do it again. Do it again. Take that to you people who said fuel injected cars that sit forever won't start. This thing hasn't ran in 7 or 8 years. Runs like brand freaking new. Go ahead. I forgot to hook the O2 sensor up. So we're gonna see if it's charging. Hey there. All right. So now it needs a good tune up. I get the proportionate valve fixed. Get the brake lines changed and get it to where it'll stop. And we'll have this car back on the road. And like I said, it hasn't been out of that spot in 7 or 8 years. And it literally just took right off like it was parked yesterday. All right, welcome back to day 2 working on this 97 Ford Taurus GL. So we got it running yesterday. She fired right up. Just kind of blows my mind because I didn't expect it to do that, honestly. So I had some codes. I had a let me double check what these codes are called. 'Cause off the top of my head, I can't remember. So we're gonna go have a peek. It was a P0340, which is a camshaft position sensor A, which is a common problem with these little 3.0 Vulcan engines apparently. And I had a P0172 system too rich on bank 1. So we're gonna dive into those problems today. Take some stuff off, check some stuff. It's got a vacuum leak, I'm pretty sure is what's causing that richness. So we're gonna go through all that and see what we can find. So hopefully we'll get it running a little better. The brakes are still screwed on it. The proportionate valve's about 300 bucks. And the one that's on here, the guy that took it off stripped it out because he didn't use the right tools, nor did he decide to spray it or use any heat or anything. There was no brake fluid in it. The line's rusted, so I don't understand why he didn't just heat it up a little and get it out. But we're gonna try to fix that too, because I don't like buying things if I can fix it. So I'm gonna try to fix it first. My understanding that proportionate valve, the only thing it does on this car, because it's in the back, is it's a load sensing valve. So therefore, when you have a lot of passengers in this car or a lot of weight, or you're hauling something, it squats the rear end and gives it more brakes to the rear to help even it out. That's the only thing I can think of that actually, or I have researched on this car that tells me anything about that valve. Some people say you can bypass it completely. You may do that. And they just get it to where it has front brakes and I can move it around until I can get that straightened out. But for right now, we're going to focus on getting the engine straightened out and running. And, well, it's running, but we're getting it run at top notch. And, yeah, we'll go from there. So, it's hot. I'm a little confused. It's December 2nd in East Tennessee. And it's almost 70 degrees. So, that's nice. I mean, at least it's a nice day. I'd rather be like this than cold. But it's December 2nd and it's almost 70 degrees. WTF is with that. That's not normal, honestly. It's not. Especially since yesterday it was freaking cold out here. It's Tennessee, I guess. The weather's just everywhere. I have got to paint this truck. God, it looks terrible. But anyways, let's get in here and let's look at this crank position sensor and see if there's an issue with that or if it's just through a code for some dumb reason. I'm being serious, like I can't stand it when people use my shit and they don't put it back. Why in God's name would you do that? Why in God's name would you put more than one size up? Fitting. Oh my God, what size is that? It's typical 4 to 8 millimeter, right? Yeah, of course it is. Some dumbass size that doesn't exist anywhere else. So you guys can tell I'm not in the very best of moods today. Today hasn't been a very good day. It's been off to a shit start. First thing that's driving me crazy is this damn, it's getting dark quicker than fuck shit. That really drives me crazy. What idiot thought it was a good idea to make the day shorter, but you're a fucking moron. So, in order to find the crank position sensor, you gotta take all the stupid plastic stuff off. Get it out of the way. Now, we can look. I did say there's a damn connector in the way of it. Leave their tube off. Take the air box out of the way. Yep, there it is. Fun. This is gonna be fun right here. So I'm going to take this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and take the battery cable off. Disconnecting stuff. I don't need this on here. Ford, I'm telling you, these damn engineers you're employing are a bunch of morons. Absolutely stupid. Yeah, it's been a rather stressful day. I don't feel very well, my stomach's killing me. Don't know why. I have people aggravating me online about just nonsense, honestly. I've been trying to find a job locally. That doesn't exist. No one's hiring. Sure, it's funny that everybody needs workers, but nowhere's hiring. We even went up to the temporary agency and asked them, and they literally told us they didn't have any jobs available. None. That's not just maintenance, that's in general. They don't have anything. Alright, so I'm really gonna have to take all that off of there. Perfectly fine with me. So 5/16. Yup. So yeah, I'm trying to find work. No one's wanting to hire. And it seems the ones, or when they do hire, they aren't hiring skilled technicians for skilled tech jobs. This leaves a lot of us maintenance guys SOL. Honestly, it really does. It's already not easy in this small town to find jobs. It's even worse when there's a bunch of implants moving down here. No offense to people moving down here, but you're implants and you're taking our fucking jobs, and it's kind of unacceptable, especially since a lot of us were laid off. I was laid off. Alright, I need to get these things out of my way. Ford loves plastic, don't they? I really don't want to take that throttle body off. Do not clean throttle body, it says. Well, Ford. Newsflash, guys. We're making your shit junk and we won't have to clean it. Because it's fucking nasty in there. Your special coating don't mean shit. About to create a vacuum leak. So yeah, been a little bit of an irritating few weeks. I've been unemployed for almost a year now because nowhere's hiring, but everybody's hiring. And I've applied, hell, several places, and I keep getting the same response that they either aren't actually hiring or they've already filled positions or you name it. We're an industrial town. There's several factories, but they graduate industrial maintenance technicians like every daggone couple of weeks, it seems, anymore. Guys are always coming out of school. It's a never-ending battle, honestly. Too much competition. That's why I don't really do industrial maintenance stuff anymore. I'd rather just do this. Studs go on the bottom, by the way. Yeah, I'm creating a vacuum leak. Ford, I hate to tell you, but I'm cleaning that because it looks like shit. Three, two, and one. And these paint pens can be your best friends. Now I know where these guys go back to. So I need to get them out of my way. Really not sure what Ford was thinking here, to be honest with you. Not really sure how you deal with this. There's the sensor, it's unplugged. The oil sensor light? What the hell? It's a dummy switch, whatever it is, but that son but sure is broke off. It's gotta be for the oil pressure. How in the shit does this get out of the damn way? It's about to get relocated. Fixed. It's tied out of the way now. What idiotic sizes this they have down in here. I'm gonna go get something and zip tie that back. Problem solved. So this is saying that the current position sensor has a current position sensor error, fault, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna move y'all over here. Let's see what the heck I'm doing. Still can't see what the heck I'm doing. It's these guys, right? This little guy right here. And it's notorious for the cam gear breaking on it. not the cam gear, but the gear inside under this thing breaks off. Well, there's nothing wrong with this. Huh, okay. I'm gonna put that right back on there then. Tighten this back down because that's not a problem. Something else. So I need to check the voltage in, the voltage out, and make sure that that all is working. Unless the timing chain's broke. I highly doubt the timing chain's broke. It wouldn't run. Alright, well. We're gonna fish this darn thing out of here. Well, I don't know where that went. Figures you're up. Alright, so the cam position sensor is fine. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get me a bite to eat real quick, and I'll come back to this. So I'll be right back. This is a quick and efficient way to make a gasket. Hold on. I got it. So, by the way, guys, this is just a temporary fix. This is not a permanent solution. So don't take this as I'm giving you pointers to making gaskets for long-term usage. This is all strictly just temporary. This will get you by for now. But go buy a gasket. This is something I've had to do many times in the industrial maintenance field. When they didn't have shit on hand, we needed it. I just cut it out of a piece of cardboard. But you can't use any cardboard. You have to use something that has like a waxy, kind of a waxy surface to it, because if you go using any cardboard, you'll have a very bad time. And I have no clue where my knives went for these blades. So I'm gonna make do with what I got. Like I said earlier, if I can avoid buying something, I'm gonna try to avoid buying it. Now the proper way to do this would be to coat this with gasket sealed. I don't have that kind of time. I've ran them just like this. I ran them on that F-150 and it gave me no problems whatsoever. So that's how we're gonna run this one. Like I said though, this is only temporary. I have to take all this stuff back off anyways here pretty soon. So it is what it is. Alright. Well, let's clean this up a little bit. You don't want to suck none of this damn cardboard in your fucking intake. Do note that. It's not exactly a wise thing to do. Alright, so I'm going to move you guys back over here and we're going to put this back together. Oh, hell. I'll move a little bit. I had to get my tool back. Alright, it's time for the studs. Phew. All right. I'll have to fix that here in a minute. Huh. Okay, well, let's get his coil pack back on here. Wait. Before we do that, just go ahead and put this thing back together properly. Do it in order. Pedal dick around about it. I just love aluminum. Any mechanic out there knows exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Now, time to put this guy back on. Remember, this guy goes down here in this corner. I need to get some oil and get the oil changed in this guy pretty soon. Change the fuel filter, the oil, coolant, do a coolant flush, use a new serpentine belt. I gotta do the brakes, and brakes are gonna be fun. I'm really excited about the brake job. Not really. You guys remember what I did earlier and I marked these wires? This is 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna take number 3, bring it on around here. Sure reminds me of 3.8 liter Mustangs coil pack. If I had to guess, it's probably a common trend with forward. By a common trend, I mean they don't want to freaking be on here. They don't want to stay on here. They're just there. Okay. Let's put this intake back on here. Start it up and check for some vacuum leaks. How does that sound to you guys? Air temperature sensor thingy back in there. And of course, this guy. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna fire this thing up. And we're going to check for vacuum leaks. Yeah, tighten that. Not gonna lie, I don't like what I just seen here, guys. Yeah, she's low as fuck on oil. Thought of seen coolant in it. So great. Because it's a whole bunch of not fun. You guys tell me what you think. I think that's pure rust water. I don't think there's any coolant left. One thing at a time. Sure not gonna like what I find when I do that. Start this thing up. For people that might know about these cars, when I first start this thing up, it wants to pull forward. Now, somebody rebuilt the transmission on this thing. I don't know crap about the transmission is on these cars. I really haven't looked into it. So if you have any ideas of why in park when I started it wants to creep forward, please let me know, because I'm clueless, to be honest with you. I can fix the vacuum leak issue. It's actually running extremely good. Might fix the vacuum leak. The reason you should always change these out when you take your throttle body off, but this one was busted. So it was leaking vacuum in between that. That was what was causing it to run rough. So I'm going to check these codes and see what these codes say. And clear them out. And then start it back up and see if they come back. Because I was told this thing had an O2 sensor issue. And if so, then that's not a big deal. I know how to clean them, and if it doesn't work, then I know how to make them work. But that's with some electronics trickery, by the way, to make them work. It's not just you do something to the sensor. You have to literally build a circuit and install it, so the computer thinks that it's working right. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So what's up with this truck? I've done that to this truck. Now, no, this truck's got an O2 sensor. It's working fine. I did it to the EGR system on this truck, and this also has an EGR system, which probably clogged up really bad. So yeah, I'm going to start trying to figure out how to take that reservoir out, because it's nasty and it's cleaned, as you guys can see. And I gotta flush the radiator in this. Yay! So we're gonna check the codes. We're gonna deal with that real quick. Sun's going down. It's like, what time is it? Yeah, it's 3:40. It'll be dark here in like 20 minutes. So we're gonna check the codes, and I'll probably have to come back tomorrow. Alright, here I am. It fire dried up and it ran good, but it has thank you. It's still saying there's something wrong with the cam position sensor. I don't understand. That doesn't make no damn sense. Something electrically wrong with it, probably. It's not sending a signal, or it's got a bad ground, or something stupid. I'm almost guarantee it. Circuit bank 1 or signal. Circuit bank 1 or signal sensor. So that tells me that it's a electrical issue. Which means I need to check all the fuses and do some power test to it, which means I'll need you to turn the key on and off and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and clear it. See if there's any pending codes. So the vacuum leak's gone. That was the throttle body gasket. Okay. Now I'm gonna take you guys back out here and we're gonna set it with the multimeter and check and see if we can figure out if we're getting a signal or not. I may have to bust the O-scope out. And no, I don't have a fancy digital oscilloscope. I'm old school electronics, man. I got like an analog one and it's awesome. But I'll get you guys set up and we're gonna check, try to get in there to check that sensor. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we have to figure some way out. All right, it's getting dark and my GoPro battery or camera, the GoPro's memory card's full, so I'm gonna back this thing up, and I don't have any brakes, so this could turn out to be very interesting. Yeah. I reckon I went back far enough. Alright, fucking junkies are next door. Damn, these cars are heavy. I've seen those right there. Alright. So we're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna check the pip output on that. See what we got. Because currently he keeps saying that the cam position sensor's messed up, even though everything was there. So I don't know. So I gotta go in and charge this GoPro and get all my footage off of it. Try to find another memory card somewhere. And clean up for the night. And I'll be back tomorrow. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I didn't get to film yesterday. I did all kinds of work on this Taurus and I didn't get any of it filmed because I had people here in my way and I'm not trying to make a video and be educational with people here. It's not happening. There's distractions and it throws my mind off and I forget to record and things like that just happen. I did find out, I went ahead and did some electrical tests on the cam position sensor and found out that it's not working. So I took the top off of it. The thing's working, I mean everything in it. The little wiper that goes through the Hall effect sensor is working fine. So I'm just going to try to get a new sensor for it and put that on because it's cheaper than replacing the whole part. Then we're going to do it again. We're going to test and all that, and I'll do a before and after test so you can see how it's running now with the current sensor in it and what happens when you put the new sensor in it, because I'm also curious myself. I did 2 different tests. I did one with a multimeter and checked, and it was getting me weird readings. I have voltage coming into it, but the the pip or the output signal was really not there. It had DC voltage coming out, but it wasn't. It should be fluctuating, and it was a constant voltage, so that's not right. And then I decided, because I was watching a video, this guy was using an oscilloscope to check it for an AC sine wave output. So I was like, okay, I got an oscilloscope. I went and got my old analog oscilloscope and I hooked it up, which I'll do again when I get the part. And it didn't have any outputs, none whatsoever. It had feedback from the electrical, like the injectors and all that, but that was it. That's not a proportionate valve that's broke on this car. It's the load sensing valve in the back. So when you put weight in the back end and it squats the frame, it gives it more stopping power to the back brakes. I've been told you can delete that, and I have my questions. I'm kind of iffy that maybe if I do that, it'll stop freaking, like it'll lock the freaking tires up. So I'm not sure if this has anti-lock brakes or not. It's got drum brakes, for God's sakes, on the back. It is a 97, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. I found one that we had here, and I got it kind of working. I mean, I got the fittings to bite and everything, got them all rethreaded, but it's all rusted up. It doesn't work, and I can't get it apart to take it apart to clean it. So I guess I'm gonna look and see if the new one he got out of the junkyard's on this car, and if so, he says it's leaking. I'd say he's probably just fucked something up that might be fixable, so I'm going to take it off and look.